I'm going to tell you, like I tell everyone, as a local DCer, I personally got impacted significantly by January 6th, despite I was working a seafood packing plant in Jersey, well, not Jersey, Atlantic City. It was devastating. I could only imagine what the people I knew were going through. And despite the fact it disgusts me, they thought about bringing out mass Gatling guns to handle the crowd. I ultimately found myself on Martin Luther King Day trying to enjoy the holiday by going to see the monument of Martin Luther King, which I pride myself in celebrating, not just for the presence of anti-segregation, but how critical nonviolence was to getting there, and how I carry that with me as best I can, even in the midst of this terrible situation. But ultimately, if you didn't notice, after January 6th, tourism shut down in DC. Every monument had to be closed down, and massive wealth was lost. It ruined so many people's everyday life and left them in their own form of militarized quarantine. Now, if you think that's impressive, unfortunately, due to this senseless act which left many cops dead, a bunch of people were diagnosed with mental illnesses who project a goal or gain from this type of behavior, and ultimately left many people, including Trump, in far hotter water than they once were. So, I don't know, it seems so silly to me. It's almost like Trump planned this. I don't know if he's an undercover agent busting a bunch of anti-government people who unfortunately are a little PTSD with their anti-government perspective. I'll give you my anti-government perspective. My concern with the government is, since the Patriot Act, we now are leading ourselves more through economic sustainability than people's self-security, due to the fact that the economy goes, anarchy happens or something like this. And that should be put above the free speech of people who put the treasury in question. Now we're making significant consequences for speaking out against public figures. These two elements are common in China and Russia, making sure people do not de-establish anything in question by them. But ultimately, this is significant, for me to not be able to go see that monument on a day where I get few gratifying days. It was such a defeat. I went down there, and before I knew it, I was at the inauguration, and I was pledge allegiancing to the flag on the outer skirts. So I was in the inside of the inauguration, but not on the, where everyone sits, all the important people sit. But I got to, on the audio, get what was happening so close to me. And a Iranian family had just immigrated here. And while I was pledge allegiancing to the flag through my radio ear and a flag right in front of me, I pardoned the, procedure just to introduce them, just to give them a positive feeling after they came to me. And ultimately, if you can't recognize why it is so important to have a good first impression with so many people who love us, I don't know, it's just basic common sense. You need to think deeper about whether or not truth is government conspiracy busting or what's in your heart. Do you really hate all these immigrants, or do you just want them to ask for a little more money? Is that really a term under which to slander a fellow human? think about this?